This is Paddock 43, the podcast, your weekly rundown giving you all things F1 from both on and off the track.
From races, trades, rumours, the lifestyle, and all the things that come with the F1 world.
We are Amy, Elle, and Pat. Let's get into it. Hot studio.
We're back.
This is a studio.
Did you miss
sweating.
us? Because we missed you.
We definitely missed recording.
Oh my God.
I missed it.
It's been a hot minute.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. And
Literally
actually,
been a hot minute. No
It's
pun
really hot.
intended. It's about 35 degrees in here.
it kind of feels like it wasn't that long ago when we recorded our Christmas special.
Oh,
Sitting
and it was
here,
also
like, it doesn't feel
freezing.
like that far.
But how weird that was Australian summer. It was freezing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
But now
then
it's
today
hot.
it's 37 degrees in Melbourne.
It's going to be 38 tomorrow. So
And now we're all sun-kissed.
good
Anyway.
luck to all of us.
Yes, we're all tanned and we have our summer glow, and we hope everyone else enjoyed their summer break that's on our side of the continent.
On the globe.
Yeah, on the globe.
Globe.
On the globe.
I mean, we've had a very entertaining off season so far.
It was really, I feel like it was
because I don't know what to say.
I feel like it was really quiet at the beginning, and you know, we were just coasting along. We were all sort of enjoying our summer break, doing our
Yeah.
thing, and then
Gunther just
shit hit the fan.
Well,
domino. Elle has a list.
I'm going to read this list because there's like a million things. And then you guys can pick from the list
Okay.
about what we're actually
Talking about.
going to tackle.
Okay.
Yep.
There's so much to tackle.
What do we
All right.
want to talk about first?
Gunther getting fired. Madrid GP confirmed. Rumors of Chicago GP. Chicago GP then being, what do you call it?
Confirmed.
Street circuit.
No,
Sprint.
no. What do we call it when we trademark?
Oh,
Yeah, how the F1
trademark.
trademarked the name.
Yeah,
Yeah,
trademarked.
trademarked
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Trademarked.
Yep. So the rumor was confirmed.
Yep.
Visa Cash App RB rebrand.
I'll tell you what, the funniest thing was watching everything happen around that.
And that has like a subcategory of its own where there was about
Yeah.
20 things that happened within that.
Yeah.
Like,
Didn't stop.
Charles Leclerc contract extension. Lando Norris contract extension. Lewis Hamilton to Ferrari. Ugh. Just throw that one in there. Andretti bid being rejected. Christian Horner allegations and his possible forced resignation. Sauber having issues with their title sponsor stake. Issues with the Singapore Grand Prix. DRS activated first lap after race on the sprint. Change in sprint weekend layout. Suzuka getting extensions until 2029. Silverstone getting extensions until 2020. Not 2023. 2034.
That's a long way away.
Yeah, I know. Australia back as the season opener in 2025, which is
Yeah.
also the worst best kept secret because AusGP,
They just
bless their
decided to
they put it
post
out there when they weren't supposed to. Bless their hearts.
Was it when they weren't supposed to? That's
Yeah.
brilliant.
So
they
then
were
they
probably
took it
like,
down.
let's add more carnage to the carnage.
they were like, let's diffuse the situation, but
yeah.
I saw some of them the next day and I was like, what was that? Why'd you delete it? And they were like, no one was supposed to know yet.
So who got
Oopsie.
fired?
Yeah. Oh, I'm just getting kicked in here
Yeah,
under
sorry.
the table. Rumors
Did your
of-
legs get longer?
Possibly.
Oh, normally you're not in front of me. That's why.
Oh, I may have grown over the summer. Who knows?
We have
Anything's
both.
possible.
I'm
on
short,
school
but I
break.
have long legs, so this is kind of hard if we're across from each other.
Rumors of
Normally you're
Alex
kicking me.
Albon going back to Red Bull, and just car launches, and then clauses in Lewis's contract about not like poaching Mercedes personnel, even though we think that Bono's going to go there. So the list actually just goes on, and especially with all the launch
The
liveries.
car
Liveries.
launches, yeah. See, I'm not a huge fan of the liveries, like just the launches in general, because they change so much throughout the season.
Yeah.
By the time they get to
do.
Bahrain,
That's
it's
so
different.
true.
That's what
When
I
they
was
get to
thinking.
Bahrain, they're different. So you're like,
Well, I
what's
hope
the
they all
point?
change because we have so many black cars on the grid. I don't
Yeah.
know how we're going to like figure out who is who.
So much carbon
So-
fiber.
I know.
So much.
I'm like,
Just paint a bit of black. There should be a rule. I know it's
yeah.
all like part of the weight issues, but there's got to be a rule. You got to have a team color.
Make it colourful. Do you remember when Alpine was like pink? Like the whole
Yeah.
car
Yeah.
was pink. It was
I
brilliant.
miss that.
I
And
want
that's how
that.
they teased
That's
what
how
the
they
launch
should
was
do
going to
it.
be, and everyone
although
was
I
like,
used
it's
to
coming
think it
back.
looked tacky.
Didn't
but-
they have? Sorry, didn't they have like a cameo thing? Weren't they teasing like a
Yes.
pink cameo?
This is what I was like, that would have been amazing.
I thought it was going to be like camo, like army print pink. I was like, ooh,
Cameo, oh my God,
yeah, camo. Is it
Camo?
I think it's camo? Yeah.
Cameo?
Oh, never mind.
cameo
I mean,
is like
I always
something else.
thought, like, I actually think the BWT car looks phenomenal. I
Yeah.
think it looks fantastic. And if there's going to be a black car on the grid, they can stay. They have my permission to stay.
I think it's also because of the flecks of pink that do
Yeah.
fall throughout that
Yeah.
make it look
Yeah.
like, you know,
I
memorable
agree.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pull it up.
Yeah,
So
so
there we have it.
It's gorge.
it is gorge. And the BWT
And the French flag on the-
branding
yeah, it's-
is probably one of the strongest branding. I do
Yes.
think Visa Cash App RB, whatever they want to call their car, has some good branding from Visa Cash App. It does look very blueberry-like. I actually did like it. I thought they gave us the most colour.
It kind of reminds me of, I don't know why, but that car reminds me of like the 2010 cars we were seeing,
the
more or
90s,
less.
2010
Yeah.
cars, absolutely.
I
Very
almost just want
Toro
to call
Rosso.
it. Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
And I
Very
want to call
Toro
it the
Rosso.
Hugo car as
I
well.
love the
Yeah.
side. This photo doesn't have it, but on the side, how it's got the Hugo Boss, but it's slanted. I think it looks really good.
I think, Visa Cash App and Alpine have been my favourite car launches so far. Everyone else looks the
I
same.
will say I like steak.
Do you?
I'm just like, you guys got so much shit. And Pew just be like, here is our Fleur green car. Good on them.
I don't think shit. I just think it's really funny. And I think
Yeah, I
what
think
was
it's
funny
funny.
was their suits, because it just reminded me of like Test cricket. I don't watch cricket, but I've
don't
seen
even-
enough cricket on TV to know that they wear fluoro green sometimes. I think it's
Yeah.
Test cricket. I'm probably
I don't know
wrong.
what Test cricket is, but I just I see it and all I see is like the villains are being launched, the villains are back. Like every post of them, like why did they have to do it as well in this sort of dark dungeon-esque?
Mysterious,
Like they're really playing into they're in their villain era.
I was
They're
like,
in their
They're
villain
coming
era.
back.
it
They're
looks
coming
like
back.
Shrek's getaway car.
Are they like if we make the car look mean? Yeah.
I did love the comparisons of
love
like
it though.
Powerpuff Girls
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
evil chick from Kim Possible.
Kim
as well.
Possible.
Like,
Yep.
there was a lot floating around.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the one that
Do you like McLaren?
I did love, but McLaren wasn't really any different to me.
No.
I kind of wish they had little pops of the blue. I really love the blue. But now there's not.
I didn't think that was much different, to be entirely
No,
honest. I was like,
I think there was like a tiny little bit of blue on like the side pod.
so I think one of the most anticipated car launches coming up is going to be Red Bull.
Well, Max has said this looks exactly the same, but I think it's more to do with Christian
Yeah,
Horner
I was
and
gonna
everything
say.
going around Christian Horner at the moment.
Christian Horner, you naughty, naughty boy.
Naughty.
Has he done it? We don't know. What has he done? We don't know.
So it's
Allegedly.
We're just going to allegedly talk about this. This whole next segment is
Controlling
allegedly.
behavior, allegedly.
So we've all heard allegedly different rumors. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
All right, we have heard controlling behavior. We've heard that inappropriate messages were sent with images in
See,
those messages.
I haven't seen that from like a reputable source though.
I know nothing is ever like these are all rumors.
Reddit.
These are all rumors. Who knows what's true?
All rumors. I was expecting a lot to come out of Friday, and then it was just like a big flop.
Yeah,
like
a 10
nothing
hour.
came out of it.
For 10
Yeah.
hours though.
10-hour
Yeah, but we got
investigation.
nothing.
No, he's denied the allegations, and they're now going into further investigation of what is going to happen, and we'll see what happens.
But I kind of, this is just my opinion on it. I feel like if it was something like images, he would have been done and dusted right there and then.
That's why I don't
Absolutely.
think that rumor.
So
is
I don't
true.
think that's. So I'm
It was
assuming.
pretty saucy when it came out, and we put like
But I saw that I was like, sure.
I know.
Yeah.
We spoke about it on our TikTok, and someone commented being like, could this be like AI, like the Taylor Swift?
Yeah.
photos?
Oh yeah, true.
And I was
True,
like,
true.
That's so
That's also
possible.
really scary.
Yeah. How scary is
This is
that?
happening.
You could have
Terrifying.
your staff members just do that on you. Don't do that if you don't like your boss. I do not recommend that.
No, and I think as well, like
that
everything
just
eventually.
cause for like jail time or something.
But
like
also
that.
everything like will eventually get investigated, and
Yeah.
they'll find the cause of it, like whether it was some sort of bot, like someone sitting
Yeah.
at their house making it up.
But also, what boss is not controlling?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure. This is
Like, and especially
you're
when
in-
you're your top performing team, like you've got to have expectation. So is this like a
You're in like one of the biggest high pressure environments.
Yeah.
Like surely you're going to come across as controlling at some point.
I mean, yeah, I find it strange that it's taken this long for like something to bubble on the surface because
Even we're just watching Drive to Survive. Like people watch that. Like, yeah, they seem a little bit.
oh my god, the
Yeah,
season hasn't
yeah.
even started. And can you imagine what Drive to Survive next year is going to be like with all of this?
They're going to have 2 seasons of it
Like
in
pre-
1 year.
There's going to have to
They're
be
going to
like
have to do a
a
pre-season.
yeah,
winter break is going to have to be its own season.
Yeah.
For sure. Talk about the drama. The other thing is Netflix is probably like,
drama.
oh, we just weren't there with the cameras.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Like
They'll be-
this happened, boom, and then this happened, boom, and then this and then this.
And then it'll go to
then
like a
this, and then
sub
this.
story
Yeah.
and then something really controversial.
It'll be interesting. Will it be a sub story or will it be? What are we gonna? Are they gonna touch on it at all, or are they just gonna kind of sweep it under the rug?
I think it depends
they've
what
got so
happens.
much to touch on. Like
yeah.
when this year's Drive to Survive on the 2023 season hasn't launched in a couple of days. I think it comes out.
Is it like, I thought- is it 23rd or 26th?
Something like that. It's
or
this
something?
month at some point anyway. But the 2024 season, that'll come out early 2025, and that's going to come out at the same time when OzGP is finally opener, but they have Lewis Hamilton driving for Ferrari.
Whoop whoop.
That is going to be insane.
They will be launching it and timing it with the Drive to Survive unraveling of this all. Can you marry a better marketing campaign together?
No,
Because also Lewis Hamilton hates Drive to Survive.
he does. I mean, don't they all?
Yeah.
Oh my
Except
God,
for-
the cameras are going to be
Except
following
Daniel
him
Ricciardo.
everywhere. Yeah. He's the only one that likes it.
Lando
Everyone
likes
else-
it.
yeah.
I reckon Yuki likes it as well.
I reckon they all secretly like it.
Maybe. I love how Daniels, by the way, is bringing out Yuki's little personality at the moment, especially with the Super Bowl when they launched their car the other day. That was funny. With Christian McCaffrey. He obviously didn't know anyone else's name, but when I get to talk about NFL, that's fine. Anyway, Lewis Hamilton.
I just kicked you. Now I'm kicking you. Sorry.
Lewis.
Possibly the biggest bombshell of the 21st century.
Yep. Yeah.
Regardless of any news.
The fact that it was on like
globally.
mainstream news that people that I know don't even like F1 were like, ooh,
It's literally
how are you
everywhere. It
feeling?
was
I'm
on-
like, how am I feeling?
It was on Dumois.
Yeah.
The best comparison I saw was this is like Harry Styles leaving One Direction and going to the
Yes.
Backstreet Boys
Yes, it is.
as boy bands. But I mean, no one believed it at first. I believed it,
didn't
and then I
believe it.
messaged you guys, and you
No.
were like, nah.
I put out a
No,
TikTok.
I believed
being-
it. I just didn't want to believe it.
No, I didn't believe it. Because I was
But
like, it was the exact same article as I'd read like last year. And I was like, surely not. They're just bringing up old news to create news.
should have believed
But I
Christian
swear-
Horner, right?
Oh my God.
I swear we need to rewind the tapes and I'm going to find it. I swear in our Christmas special when we were talking about retirements, I said.
We said this, yeah.
Yeah.
We did.
We said that Lewis would finish his career at Ferrari.
Yeah. I think we all actually agreed
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Just didn't realize it was
mean,
going to be so soon.
as
not.
well,
oh wait, no. I
we
think I
thought that
remember
next year, this year, he would be finished with Ferrari, Mercedes.
Mercedes.
I did think that. Wasn't.
Because I think, remember
Yeah.
we were saying it depends on how the Mercedes car
performs.
performs.
Yes,
this
yeah.
year.
I thought it'd be if they had a trash car again this year, he'd leave.
Yeah.
But he's left before they've even
He's
proven
done.
if it's a good car or not.
I think he felt a bit burned last season by Mercedes, not just by the car, but by Mercedes as a whole. And how long he was there for 12 years? Like he had a really good stint.
I mean, the news could have come out sooner. Christian Horner told us all last year, and we all didn't believe it.
Yeah.
He did.
Charles was having that
He
interview
did tell
in
us.
Monaco, and he was like, "No, it's not true. It's not happening." But we now know that he has
it was
known
happening.
this
Who?
whole time, and he was like, "It was never my news to share."
I want to know who the
Which I think is
weasels
great.
are that like planted the seed of getting it out. You know?
Maybe it was Christian Horner. He knew something was coming up, so he was like, "Let me just
Yeah.
pop this news
Do you
out
think,
to distract my
Yeah.
upcoming allegation."
But do you think Zach Brown and Andrea Stella knew
100%?
to sign Lando
Yeah.
before, and then Lando didn't know?
Well,
so,
yeah.
so
Lando
McLaren
definitely
wanted to
wouldn't have known.
lock down Lando before
Yeah.
he could have the option to go to Mercedes.
So,
Yeah.
have you heard that actually it might be Oscar Piastri? That
Yeah.
Mark Webber is trying to get Oscar out of his
That
3-year
wouldn't
deal
surprise me. Yeah.
and
But-
get him into Mercedes.
I swear those contracts after everything that's happened would have to be so tight now.
Yeah.
Like there's not going to be any surely there can't be another loophole.
There's always a
after what-
loophole.
I know there's
There's
always a
always-
loophole.
There's
but
always a
it'll be a hard
loophole.
loophole to find.
I think there is a loophole in Oscars. I think it's either going to be Oscar or Alex going into that Mercedes.
Yeah,
seat.
I see Alex. I see Alex.
Yeah, I think it depends what
Would be-
Mercedes want.
I actually think like George and Oscar would work really well together.
Yeah, I think they would as well.
But I think it depends how Oscar goes with McLaren this year. Because if they have a good car, I don't think he'll leave.
I think he would.
But I do see
serious
Fernando.
guy.
I see Fernando going to Mercedes if they want a more mature driver.
Yes, that's
it
another.
depends just what they want. If they want someone younger or someone older,
Yeah.
or Seb Vettel.
Oh my God!
Bring
Can
back
Seb
Seb
Vettel,
Vettel.
our favorite driver, both of us.
Yeah.
But can he stop teasing? It's the biggest little tease.
I wrote down all my things. So I was literally going through his Instagram and I was like, I need to write this down. And I was like, this is some Taylor Swift shit. So it was like cryptic.
He's in his
cryptic
Eras
posts
tour.
where he's posting like the years, the chronological order of his, what is it? What's he
like
doing again?
his years that he was driving.
Yeah, years that he was driving.
Yeah.
Like in order. And he was posting them every 3 months. I was like, this is really interesting. So then in April, it's going to be number 11. July, number 12. He was born in July, announced his retirement in July, and there's no driver number 12. And I was like, oh my God, maybe he's going to come back and be driver number 12.
Or maybe he just wants to get us talking.
But
I mean,
Because
it was
he's doing a lot of work
The
with Red Bull
description
as a whole.
on his Instagram page and the hashtag he uses is, what is it? The race is yet to be won.
Yeah, it's on in his bio,
Yeah,
isn't it, as well?
bio.
But I think as well because he's doing a lot of work with like the Red Bull, the sailing team, and
I think as well, the
Like, he's just
race
doing
is
a
yet to
lot.
be won is probably more environmentally.
I was about to
That
say
too.
that. I was like, it's
Yeah.
probably
Charged,
sustainable
yeah.
because they're
Yeah.
supposed to be like to the net zero
Yeah.
and all of that.
he's
sort
like
of stuff.
F1 do
Yeah.
better. You're still doing shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to go either way.
And then there's people like me that are like, no, he's coming back. He's coming back.
I think it's going to go either way. It's just been like the biggest.
Can you imagine if he comes back?
I think like his teasing would suggest that, but then when I think about when he did retire from the sport and the reasons why he retired and how like strongly he felt about that, and that F1 isn't still at net zero, so I think maybe
Unless
in
they're
theory it's a great theory, and I would love to see him come back, but what's changed
Yeah.
to make him want to come
unless
back?
they've promised more. I don't know. But who knows?
I mean, he's having it. It's not uncommon for people to have a break and come back.
Oh, for sure, that's true.
Sometimes you just need a little rest and
And
get back on.
I mean, is Gunther doing that?
I hope
Is he coming back?
he's too valuable to not have.
Oh, I'm going to miss him.
He's honestly one of the best people on the track, and I think Sky Sports are going to miss him the most because
Yeah.
they're the one.
He
he's-
gives them time.
Yeah, he gives them time.
Yeah.
And he actually connects Sky Sports to the audience, the
Yeah.
consumer, because we're able to get an insight into the grid. So who's now going to be that person
Well,
that's willing to give that time?
I think the best thing about the Christian Horner drama breaking out was all the the posts of like Gunther's going to Red Bull,
Yeah.
Gunther's going to Red Bull.
I was about to say that.
Imagine. Ooh, imagine.
I think it would be hilarious.
I mean, I know that Gunther was asked to leave like just because, Haas hadn't been performing.
But Gene
They-
Haas just doesn't want to invest
Exactly.
in the team.
Exactly.
And,
It's not
so
your
this is a
fault.
funny thing.
Gunther just
Gunther.
wanted Gene to invest more.
Which is why it blows my mind that F1 is rejecting Andretti and GM Motors. But then I'm like, Andretti and GM need to just team up with Gene at
Yeah.
Haas.
I
They've got the
just-
money. They've got the engine. They've got everything.
But where's
It's a win-win.
And I know we need to touch on that, but I don't understand where the chip on the shoulder is with Andretti. Like I don't understand. Where did that hate come from?
I think it's an American thing.
But then there's all this like talk of wanting to make the wanting the American fan base and wanting to grow the American fan base. And
But
this
I
is
think F1
literally your
knows
one way
it's
to
not
get
the right way. I think
Yeah.
F1 knows that they need different investors, such as female investors, to bring that in. And then that's why also they're trying to do more races like trademark Chicago.
Yeah.
But then, I think I've spoken about it before, that since 2020, there have been 8 new teams that have come in and only one has succeeded,
Has stayed,
which is Haas.
performed.
One of them
Well,
had
not
3
really
different
performed.
changes, 3 different sponsor changes.
But this is like, I still think
Was that-
Andretti wants to be in it and they've got money, and then Haas could really shoot up with the GM motor as well.
Oh,
They're literally killing one
thing,
bird
and
with
the
one
thing is,
stone.
the thing as well that doesn't make sense is like the stake in the market, in like the automobile market that GM
Yeah.
Motors has is insane. It's like I don't know. I think like the 4th biggest in the world. I can
I
can
do think
fact
they
check that.
should be doing it.
Yeah.
One way or another, they need Andretti and General Motors.
I think it's just such like an easy collaboration.
Yeah.
Andretti and GM went in.
But
Haas
also I
needs
think
some
you-
money.
Is it ego that they wouldn't want a partner.
Yeah, probably.
Probably.
Yeah.
I think it's ego now that F1 have rejected them so many times and
Yeah.
said no. And now they're like, okay, we're going to make this work. Except then I would do the sneaky being like, well, fuck you. We're going to partner with Haas. They
Yeah.
need money. And so we're going to be on the F1 track then
Yeah.
and say, hey, guys, you missed us.
Would be an idea, but I feel like
Yeah.
Gene Haas
You-
is like, no, it's my team.
Yeah.
I'm not letting anyone in.
That
Someone
too.
needs to call Gene.
Someone
Yeah.
needs to call Jean.
Yeah, I just,
Look, it's frustrating to watch that one because I just think that's what should happen. But anyway, I do think also that it is good that the sprint format has slightly changed.
You do?
I do, I have two thoughts. Like, I like it,
Yeah.
and then I'm like, this could create chaos at the same time.
Mm.
Do you think?
Why?
Yeah.
Well, so
Are
we've
you
got,
thinking that because of the qualifying, the sprint qualifying shootout is now on the Friday? Is that why?
well, because it's just the sprint,
Yeah.
and then you have main qualifying and the race separate. So what
Yeah.
if you, let's say someone completely totals their car, and then they can't get it ready in time for the main qualifying session? Then they've only done sprint.
But then if you look on the
But they
flip
do have
side of
parc
that, they've got
fermé,
now-
so yeah,
Yeah.
they're double parc fermé.
yeah.
So
And
FP1, fuck, what is it? Excuse me.
it's
I'm like, oh my God.
No, it is
So it's
confusing.
FP1, parc fermé, sprint shootout, sprint race, parc fermé, sprint. Oh my God, sprint.
I feel like
Main qualifying, main race.
It's
I
confusing.
got there. I preferred 2021. It's 2021?
God, that feels like a
I know,
lifetime
it
ago.
does.
It does feel like a lifetime ago.
Where the sprint was the grid for main race.
Yeah.
I love that.
I still think in some places they should do the separate, like in Australia, have a separate weekend for the sprint and just make.
I
a
don't
whole
think
thing
so.
out of it.
We're not doing that.
It's just an extra weekend here in Australia to have the F1, so people then remember us.
It would be fun.
It would be fun, right?
It would be fun. Can you imagine the drivers?
Of course,
though?
it
They'd
would
like,
be
"What?"
fun. But
Economically, it's
Makes-
great for us, and it's great, better for the environment because then they like can knock out two things in one weekend, and then we could have, F1 Academy going as well, and all of the above. That's
If only it was that easy.
only.
Hey,
just like making up ideas in my
FIA,
head.
so we've got a plan.
Yeah. I think it makes
We
sense. I
think
mean,
you should
I
do
know when I
this.
said that when we interviewed Travis and he sort of looked at me like, and then Pat goes, can you just not give him more things
yeah,
to do?
they're like,
please?"
Yeah.
stop. We don't need any more work.
But I did say, I'll just say, Pierre Gasly really likes it. He says it's a genius. It's basically a genius idea. Well,
I feel like it's a big call for an F1 driver to say
I
a
know.
genius
Well, I
idea
think
when it comes
this
to
is
the
what it
sprint. Like,
said.
you know,
It was-
when like they're usually all like, yeah, it's
Yeah,
good. Yeah,
yeah.
but genius is
Yeah.
a very strong
it's
word.
for genius guys to change the cars. So new sprint format will free up genius guys to change cars. So
yeah.
the genius engineers that are going to come in and be like, oh, whoop, let's change this.
When you say
and
genius engineers, I'm now like thinking it's like the Apple bar. Have you met with
the
your genius
bar.
tech?
No, so yeah, it's just now it's FP1,
Well, it's-
sprint shootout, sprint race, parc fermé, main quali, main race. FP1, parc fermé, sprint shootout, sprint race, parc fermé, main quali, main race.
Yep, that. And then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sprint weekends this season.
First one's China, isn't it?
Yeah.
In April.
China back this year?
China is back. I always forget that China is back after
It's
know,
hiatus.
quite the hiatus. That's going to be a highly anticipated race. Watching China
And
unfold.
Zhou finally gets a home race.
Yeah.
I know. I was thinking that.
It'll be good for him.
Yep.
It'll be good for him.
I love
In
watching.
his villainous era.
It'll be interesting for Lewis because he has
And
the most
Bottas.
wins.
Green.
And yeah, the most wins at the Chinese Grand Prix.
Lewis is going to be on fire this year. He's
my
going to be the
God.
most watched driver. But
do we-
as we know, all of them are going to be most watched because contracts are
Is
Alright.
there 14 left?
It's like 80% of the grid. I
Yeah.
think still
So-
to discuss.
Who is up this year? We have Sergio Perez is up this year.
I think he's gone.
Well,
we think he's, I don't know.
Fernando Alonso, Esteban Ocon, Pierre Gasly, Alex Albon, Logan Sargent, Daniel Ricciardo, Yuki Tsunoda, Valtteri Bottas, Zhou Guanyu, Kevin Magnussen, and Nico Hülkenberg.
Oscar, Lando, and Charles and Co are just like,
Suckers.
Max Verstappen's contract to 2028. just
I always forget
kiss
about
my ass.
It's like, I'm locked and loaded. You guys are not.
Yeah. Yeah.
I reckon,
Carlos Sainz has got to go somewhere good, but I just can't
Yeah.
picture him in anything except.
oh my God, imagine what
Red.
he would look like in pink.
You know what? I could see him.
Red
at
does
McLaren.
him like red
It does him justice.
does him so much justice.
I could see him at McLaren.
That's what I
Oh,
thought.
do you
If he
think he
goes
could
back-
go back?
Yeah,
if he goes back to McLaren.
taking Oscar's seat, and Oscar goes to Mercedes.
Do you know this is
Plot twist,
slightly
he goes to Red Bull.
controversial? Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
That would be good. This is slightly controversial from my dad.
Daniel Ricciardo's like, this was supposed to be my year,
Yeah.
Red Bull.
This is mine.
My plan did not work.
What about me, guys?
Guys.
What about me?
Fucking Lewis Hamilton. Kidding.
No, this is slightly controversial. My dad, he's like, Trisha. I was like, here we go. He's like, what do you think? And I was, telling him, I'm like, well, I kind of saw this, like I could see this coming, but I actually really like Lewis Hamilton. I think if he's going to finish his career somewhere, Ferrari is where he should finish it. My dad was like, Trisha, no, he's too old. I was like, excuse me? He's like, his reflexes are not as fast as Carlos Sainz. So it was a bad idea taking out Carlos Sainz. I'm like, he's 40. He's not like geriatric, but I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think his reflexes seem fine.
I think
Mine
his
aren't very
reflexes-
good. Oh my God.
I feel like they have to be to a certain standard to
Yeah.
even compete in F1
Yeah.
car.
Yeah.
Mine are definitely not. I mean, 6'2" bundle of joy over here just
Yeah.
falls sitting on a chair. So
You do.
reflexes are not strong.
It's
So
like, I think his reflexes are fantastic. Like, age has got nothing to do with this.
No. And
Nothing.
Fernando Alonso can
Yeah.
prove that.
Yeah.
He's 42.
42, 43.
He's
or
42
something.
this
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
Yeah.
But as well, the way these guys live and the way they train, their nutrition, their sleep, everything.
If I could have 1%
Athletes
of that.
are going to be able to go, like, the limit just doesn't exist anymore.
The limit does not
It
exist.
does not exist.
The limit does not exist.
Like, you
I
look at Tom
wonder,
Brady.
yeah.
Look at Tom Brady. He was.
Yeah. He retired, like 3 times?
Yeah.
And then he was like, I'm going to retire from my marriage, but I'm going to play the sport.
Well, that's why I sometimes think is Seb Vettel pulling Michael Jordan. Oh, I'm just going to retire from basketball.
Oh, yeah, I can see that.
And then Seb Vettel's gone off to do his own thing with the sailing, just like Michael Jordan went off to go play a little baseball.
Yeah.
Completely failed at that. That was definitely not his career. And then he
No.
came back and
Dominated.
dominated again. And then he said goodbye. Is this what Seb Vettel's doing?
I mean, he was
think
that
that-
good. He can probably come back, dominate for a little bit. And
But maybe if your dad's
scoot on
right,
out.
his reflexes are not there.
Yeah.
So
I think that was Daniel Ricciardo's plan as well, but he did not dominate when he got back. So
he was kind of forced
God,
into a retirement though.
I just need to see how Daniel's going to go this year. I think he's just going to have fun. I thought I do think this might be his last year. I think he's going to know that he doesn't have anywhere else to go next year. Or he'll just move teams and he'll be on the same level.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like there's no point in that unless he does actually want to keep racing. But I think he's too much of a personality. He's just having fun.
Yeah.
also I feel like when you're racing for a team that's called Visa Cash App RB, the bar is low.
At least
the
that
bar
car
is
looks
low.
good.
Yeah, at least
I
the car
mean,
looks good, and they
It just doesn't roll off
sponsored
the
Super-
tongue.
They
Doesn't roll off
sponsored
the
the
Yeah.
tongue.
Super Bowl,
Like,
and
can
so
you-
Daniel was probably like, "Great, we get to launch from Vegas."
Can you imagine
Yeah.
the broadcasters? V-carb.
I know, but we when they're like, oh, like the Williams, and then they're like the Visa Cash App,
RB.
the Visa Cash App RB.
Visa Cash App RB.
Oh,
RB.
Are they
Hopefully
gonna be
they're
like
just going to say RB.
VCA,
No, they probably will just say
VCA RB?
RB.
I think
Yeah.
they're saying RB, but
Yeah.
then that's still confusing with
Red Bull.
Red
Red Bull.
I think it should have been Racing Bulls. Should have just
Hugo Boss. They should
Bulls.
just call it
Bulls
Hugo
Racing.
Boss.
Bulls.
Bulls.
Bulls Racing.
Bulls Racing. Bulls.
Hugo
I know
Boss.
we
Bulls,
made.
balls,
It's funny that we
balls.
made fun of those names 6 months ago,
And now we like them.
and now we're like, oh, no,
Bring them back.
bring them back. What was that? No one was
At least,
expecting Visa
hopefully,
Cash
the
App.
car will be good. Because apparently, it's basically going to be the RB19.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
Well, now we have to see how they're driving it.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Maybe it is Yuki's year.
Aw.
Little Yuki.
Silence.
I love the
I would love to see a win from Yuki. That would make my year.
He deserves a win. Can you imagine him on the podium? The
The podium. I do
Oh my
think this is
God.
going to be Lando's year to get a win.
Do we, or do we think he's cursed? Is he going to have to like
Is
change
he forever
teams?
a bridesmaid?
Forever a bridesmaid, never a bride. Is he going to have to change teams to be able to get a win?
Well, now he's stuck.
Yeah. So he's never gonna get a win.
I mean, I think he seems pretty happy about being stuck, to be entirely honest.
Yeah.
But
Coming second.
if it wasn't for Max, he would have won by now. That's the situation.
Yeah, but the situation is that we have Max on the grid.
Imagine if Max decides to retire
Max
early, breaks his contract and just...
No. What
Max's
I think
appendix
what
is about to burst.
I was honestly like hoping, I mean, drama. The whole Christian Horner thing is like, okay, I obviously hope that didn't happen. These alleged accusations, I really hope that they didn't happen because, you know, it's not great. But also, I want some real drama at Red Bull and we're not seeing it. So...
You're like, give me everything.
Yeah, so maybe this is the drama that we need because the fact that we saw only one race in the whole of last season, not won by Red Bull, like we can't see that again this year.
Yeah.
So
News is just about to drop everywhere, isn't it?
I know. And by the time that this is in everyone's ears, I think all the liveries will be done. All the cars will be launched.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everything will be out.
I'm
and then
fine.
we're back in Bahrain ASAP, testing all those liveries. And then Drive to Survive comes out. Everyone can accuse us again of just being Drive to Survive fans. I'm looking
That's
forward
my
to defending
favourite time of year.
ourselves.
It's like
and then-
Christmas.
yeah. It's like the Trolls Christmas time.
It is.
Like crack the knuckle.
I think next week as well, we should do a full list of predictions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
I'm
reckon
keen to do that as
Constructors, drivers, and then silly season. Who we think is going to go where?
Ooh.
well. We need to.
I think
And,
that's a good
then
one.
we
We
should
should-
write them down
yeah.
and make bets.
Bets, yep.
Yeah.
I like that.
I want like a little burn book. But in a
Burn.
like
I
in
like
not-
it.
in not
Burn.
Mean
Like a
Girls
bingo
way.
card. We should have like a Paddock 43
Oh my God, we
F1
should
bingo
actually
card.
print out things and be
Yeah.
like, okay,
Yeah.
slap something
Slap it
on
on the
there.
wall.
Who is going to go to Alpine
Yeah.
or whatever?
Yeah.
And just go dink, dink.
We'll bring
hold them
a
up.
list in, and then we can make like a big poster. Maybe arts and crafts.
Yeah,
Yes.
crafternoon.
Hit up.
They're so
Let's
much
have a crafternoon.
Crafternoon.
Crafternoon. I
Let's
love
have a
them.
crafternoon.
I love that.
I'm really good with a glue stick. Anyway.
That could be taken so wrong. Okay, we're clearly warming up back into our first season first episode back into season 2.
Season 2 of Paddock 43.
And we're
Season
so excited to be with you, or you be with us, from the beginning of this year.
From the beginning. And
Let's
don't
start from
forget
the
to
beginning.
share the love of Paddock 43 with your friends, family, colleagues, loved ones, and then also liking and rating and all of in between.
Subscribing.
And also we might have a very exciting competition coming up for the Oz GP
Yes.
if you're here in Australia listening. So make sure you're following us on Instagram for that one because that's going to be quite hot.
And another exciting thing coming up this year, we've got a few more interviews lined up, a few more guest appearances. So it's all happening.
Stay tuned.
Yay. I'm like, you guys said it all.
Yep.
Got nothing else to add.
Maybe you should sign XOXO.
XOXO. Gossip Girl.
There we go.
Paddock 43.
It doesn't really sound the same.
It works.
And if you want to keep the
XOXO.
conversation going, hit us up in the DMs because we're here for you.
Okay, we're going to go.
All right.
Toodaloo.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.